Hey yo, peace. It's Squeegie Oblong, better known as Squeegio, synonymous with O as in it's O, bitch. And you are now tuned into the history of hip hop with JJ on Black Culture Radio. Peace and love. You heard?
But yes, on the line, I have right now the man like Squeegee Oblong. What's up, brother?
Yo, peace, JJ. How you, good brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Again, thank you for your time, man. It is appreciated.
Yo,
Um,
likewise, man. I appreciate you and letting me come on your platform and promote my art.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Like I say, it's like I always say to people that I interview, I don't just interview anybody. Do you know what I mean? I've got to like his stuff first. But first things first for you, I've got to kind of give you an apology because, big shout out to Jerry Graham connected
Mm,
us. I must
yeah,
admit,
peace to
I hadn't
Jerry,
heard your
man.
stuff before, but as soon as he said, go and check out my guy Squeegee, I was like, I've been looking into your back catalogue, man, and it's just dopeness for quite a few years. And I don't know how I missed you. I must be honest, man. But again,
It's
thank
all
you for your
good.
time, man. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? How my old head used to say, ain't no time like the present. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, cool, man. So I've been looking into your back catalogue in preparation for the interview, and yeah, man, just dope stuff for years. It's appreciated. Right, okay. So the first question I want to ask you, man,
Yeah.
I want to start with the name because it's kind of the strangest name I've ever heard for a rapper. Usually, rappers try and make themselves, sound really cool, or they come up with a crime name, or just use their normal name. You've called yourself Squeegee Oblong. How did you get to that name?
Yeah. Shit. Shout out to one of my mom's people, her brother, may he rest in peace. So when he came home from jail, I run into him. He see me. I was young. I was maybe about like 12, 13 around the time.
Mhm.
And he would call me, Squeegee Mom. Everything was cool, nickname type shit.
Yeah,
So fast forward, I go into high school. I'm going to high school with his nieces now. And we in high school together. And just because we always hanging out, they calling me Squeegee too. So, everybody calling me Squeegee. I just went with the squeegeo, like squeegiosis sound like a disease, you know what I'm saying? You can't fuck with it. Cause I already knew squeegee was, you wiping shit out, but the metaphor behind it was, yo, I'm squeegeo, I'm wiping shit out like a virus. Then fast forward one night, just in the state of being burnt out, I was binge watching the cartoon, the Oblong, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're familiar.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I've seen it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So watching that shit, it just kind of gave me inspiration. Like, yo, I'm not awkward, but their characters are relatable because we all got some type of shit with us. You know what I'm saying? But we still living regular everyday bullshit, just like they was. So just added the oblong and changed it from Osis to oblong, and made it run from there. I was just Squeegee at one point, and then recently, I want to say about like 2, 3 years ago, I wound up putting the oblong on due to some situation of a project that I put out with one of my people, Jamil Honesty, and they wound up putting my name as Squeegee Oblong. It was a real issue trying to get my shit together as far as my streaming and all that other stuff. So,
Hmm.
but I just said, fuck it, I might as well just run with it now.
Cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And so, I mean, when you first kind of got the drive to do this, did you have any other names, or was it always kind of like Squeegee O and then Squeegee Oblong?
Oh nah. Originally, as corny as this sounds, I was Iron Monkey.
Mhm. Well, it's a dope film. Why not, man?
Yeah, it was a dope film, man.
Mm.
But I know, like, I knew about the film, I watched it, but I'm like, what, 12, 13 years old? I don't really know nothing about Iron Monkey the way it's solidified. It just sounded dope at the time. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
Iron Monkey, son. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. All right, man. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Um, Yeah, all right. Let's talk about the album that's just come out, Upset Antagonists, with the man
Mm.
Chuck Chang. Big shout out to Chuck Chang, man.
Yeah,
Um,
salute Chuck
how did
Chan, man.
yeah, how did you two get connected?
Um, we featured on the joint with another artist called G Fan Black. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And Chan was rapping at the time. I didn't even know he produced. I was familiar with him though. I
Yeah.
want to say around this time, maybe a little bit in September of last year, he hit me up and was like, "Yo, I make beats just to let you know, I would love to, get you on something or let you rock on something." I said, "Well, shit, fly it through." And I'm one of those. If something hits the nerve
Mm.
and I get the like the itch for it, I'm going to just go for it. So he sent me a pack of maybe like 6 beats. Within the first 3 days of that pack, I already had like 4 joints
Yeah.
written, ready to go. So I
Mm.
was like, "Oh nah, this is gonna work." I said, "Well, let's sit down, let's build, let's put something together."
Mm.
And when I was listening to his vibe, it kind of reminded me, like, reminiscent of Madlib, without it necessarily sounding like Madlib. You know what I'm saying? He got that off kilter, very gritty, like, dirty sounding shit on his production. So I was like, "Yo, man, we got to figure out how to flip this." You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to. I kind of want to show some respect, but I don't want to do no shit where it's like the word villain or using the word mad or any of that other shit. Because there's a lot of villains, a lot of people with the mask and all that other shit.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody really keeping the aesthetic of how he was creatively with the music. So I just figured, let's do something with the title to make it kind of ill.
Yeah.
I was like, "How would you describe it?" He was like, "Yo, upset antagonist." I was like, "Yo, not for nothing. That
Mm.
shit'll work." And
Yeah.
then we ran with the title and ran with that for the entire album, man.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, the legacy of Madlib and the late great MF Doom, man. A lot of people try to replicate that. So I like the way you switched it up on your own thing, man. I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, a lot of dudes, and especially in the time and age now after his passing, there's a lot of people with the mask. And
Mm.
it's like, yeah, that's cool. The mask gimmick is dope, but I mean, his music was the main key ingredient to all his shit. The way
Yeah.
he put together and arranged, even with his own production, besides working with Mad Lib and like Dilla and all the other producers that he worked with. When he did his own production, his shit was always like off kilter, but it was
Mm.
still raw. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's kind of the energy I be trying to give. Off kilter, but it's still raw. It's still them elements of hip hop. It ain't leaning off nothing to other shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know the album's only dropped like recently, but have you had a chance to sort of gauge the reaction to it from people?
I mean, from the reactions I've been getting,
Mm.
so far it's good. So far it's good. You
Mm.
got your people, they say what they say, and you got the people who say what the real is.
Yeah.
So I'm just appreciative of the audience even being in tune and paying attention to it.
Mm.
Definitely caught wind very fast. So, I'm appreciative of whatever kind of love it comes. Any love is good love for me. Shit.
Yeah. All right, man. So, is was there any differences in the way you approached upset antagonists than you did like your previous output?
I think with this one, it was more so in a fun space. When I first started working on the project, like I had a whole bunch of new shit going on, both in a positive and in the negative light.
Hmm.
So to have the creative way and space to do what I wanted to do at the time, and then just the energy, trying to keep the hope and the good positive energy up. That's what really sets this project apart from, like, I would say, the last two or three, because this one was more I'm in it for the fun. I just want to be I want to just do what I fucking want to do.
Hmm.
My last project was more on some personal shit. Like, it was real, like, deep. You know what I'm saying? This is not as deep personally and emotionally. This is just more hip hop shit. Like,
Yeah,
yo, bar the fuck out. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. And the braggadocio and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Just yeah.
just be fly and be fun without
Mm.
really over exaggerating and exerting a certain type of energy. Like, you don't gotta be super thug and you ain't gotta be super sensitive,
Mm.
and still have a good time.
Yeah. No, I get that, man. Okay, then. And how do you personally? Because I'm what's considered an old head. I've been into hip hop since like the mid 80s. I know
Okay.
there's a lot of people that's been listening as long as me, and they're kind of like, hip hop is dead and all the rest of that stuff. How do you see the hip hop landscape at the minute? Are there any artists that you're jamming with at the moment that are like, pretty new?
I mean, oh, it's all depending on what we talking.
I mean, just
Because the landscape
when you're
is
not
just
working on
very
your own
interesting.
stuff, when you're not working on your own stuff, who are you listening to?
I'm listening to Sade and fucking the Isley Brothers and
All
things
right,
like that.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I mean, I do have a playlist of certain artists within the realms of the underground and a little bit on the mainstream that I wind up listening to when I'm in the mood to really listen to rap. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Like I'll listen to some Ransom, I'll listen to some Kendrick Lamar, I'll listen to
mhm,
some J. Cole.
mhm.
I'll throw some Rome Streets, I'll throw in some West Side Gun. It's just all in the vibe of the element of how you feeling.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
feel like I want to get real ratchet and grungy, I'll put on that shit. If I want to hear some 90s vibe type shit, yeah, I'll go to all that old school.
Mhm.
It's just really a preference of what you want to hear. As
Yeah.
far as the landscape, I wouldn't say it's kind of like dead. It's just really all depending on what you're looking at.
Mhm,
If you're looking for the mainstream, of course you already know that's the corporate host system. They
mhm,
pimping everybody out over there to make the music that they make. Underground, I would say it's in dose phase because
mhm,
there's so many different energies you can tap in from. And
mhm,
then thanks to social media with this new kind of like underground wave of what's going on with that, it's like, yo, you can find a whole lot of different plethora of shit. It's just searching. If you search, you shall find.
mhm.
You know what I
I mean,
mean?
I say that all the time. Like I say, I'm an old head, and I am forever online arguing with people around my age who, what I mean, talk about hip hop died in the '90s, and I'm like, I feel sorry for them. Do you know what I mean? And I just have to try and point them at newer stuff that's out. Do you know what I mean? Because there's
Right.
so much that I think that in 20, 30 years time, when people are looking back, they'll say that now was maybe not as good as the '90s, but they'll think I think
No,
it's
it was
similar.
definitely.
There's been so much good stuff since I'd say like the last decade. It's been so much good hip hop, man. If
No,
you're
for real.
if you're a boom bap fan, do you know what I mean? Like you said, I just think people are are lazy and they can't be bothered to look. They can't be bothered to search anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, for
Because
real,
in the
for real. I
'90s,
mean,
all the great
I
hip hop,
can't blame. For
yeah,
real, I can't blame people for their ignorance. If
yeah,
I ain't looking for it or if
yeah,
it ain't in front of my face,
yeah,
how could I expect for it to thrive? But
yeah.
it takes digging,
Yeah,
soul
yeah.
searching.
I mean, I think the difference is me is, obviously I come from the '80s when you had to search. Do
Right.
you know
That
what I mean?
that's
There wasn't
another
there
thing
wasn't
too.
no internet, so if you wanted to hear the new stuff, you had to go looking for it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm used to
Physical.
that. If you grew up in the
I think
'90s and
that's
it all
another
came
issue
to you,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then now with the digital era, if you're not really online and computer savvy, you really don't know what the hell is going
yeah, yeah.
on.
All right, man. I want to go all the way back. Like you say, you like to listen to some Sade, you like to listen to some Isley Brothers, stuff like that. I do
Mhm.
too. Do you know what I mean? I think you can't be a hip hop fan if you're not eclectic. I don't think. I mean, you can
Right.
just be just a hip hop fan, but especially if you're a boom bap listener, there's so many different genres that go into some of them songs, especially the old soul, especially the Isleys and Barry White,
Hell yeah,
and
man. To
you
be
know,
a creative, you just
um,
can't listen to the same shit all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, who provided your first kind of musical memories when you were growing up? When you were a kid and you kind of like started listening to music, who was playing them songs and what kind of artists were they playing where you just thought, oh, I love music, man?
I say both my parents, mainly
Mhm,
my father.
mhm,
My mother, she played a lot of like surface level stuff, like the regular mainstream R&B. She wasn't really big on hip hop, but certain songs, like the dance kind of hip hop records, she rocked with that. Now my father was a whole different breed. Like my father was the type he was listening to the Rolling Stones, Then he would throw on Steel Pulse. Then he put on like Marvin Gaye. Then he put on some jazz shit. Like his palette was all over the place, and he had like a certain particular love for the style of hip hop, especially like in the early parts of it.
Yeah,
So that's where I started getting my doses of hip hop music and just all different variety of shit. Plus, being young, you get caught up in the fads of what's going on. So you be in school, everybody talk about what's popular. So you go through the radio, you listen to what's on the radio. Then your friend might be like, "Oh, yo, you never heard of DJ such and such type shit." So
yeah. And when you listen to that stuff, does it kind of like does it impact on the way you create rhymes or when you're giving opinions on how you want your songs to sound, kind of thing? Can you do you kind of like go back to those sounds that you've heard from your childhood and growing up to kind of like improve the way you do your artistic output?
I would say both yeah and no, because usually when I go back, I'm like trying to just catch a vibe in the field.
Mm,
I like the way songs are formatted, lyrical standpoints of what they're saying on any type of genre of song.
yeah.
As far as on the inspirational path, I just go with the flow of what comes to me with the beat. But as
Mm,
far as the old school shit, I think it gives me more of a feel of nostalgia to put me in a place to get into that energy to feel like, all right, maybe I could set myself up to write something like this, or even hit you in the head like, yo, I usually question shit. I be like, well, what the fuck was they on, or what was they thinking? What was they going through at the time when
mm,
they wrote that shit? Because somebody to say something like that, or somebody to put certain things in that energy, yo, you just wasn't just sitting there eating cereal. Like, yeah, this is a joint. It don't sound like that kind of record. It sound like, yo, the bills needed to be paid, the rent was due, and you had to make sure you put your fucking heart on your sleeve. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
so
Okay, man. So when it comes to you and when did you first start sort of um, producing art? I mean, was it always writing bars, or did you used to write songs, or was it poetry, or how did you get started in a kind of musical or artistic space?
when I first started writing rhymes, it was just bullshit.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? You know, little black kid on punishment. I'd be
mm,
hanging out with a couple people every now and then, and they was rapping. So,
mm,
you get around your peers, and y'all just be playing around silly. I think the more I realized, yo, there's something here. If I really, take the time and put the energy into it, the more it made me go, well, fuck it. If
mm,
I could do that, then maybe I could do this. If I could do this, then I could do that. So
mm.
then it goes from writing little bullshit here to now I want to say I really got serious with writing like texture, like really writing songs.
Yeah.
I want to say around like my early 20s, like my late teens, early 20s,
Okay.
you start putting texture into the music,
Mm,
what's going on in the element, your feelings, how you expressing things. And that shit right there, it makes you change the aspect. Like to now, I'm not the same writer then that I am now.
sure.
Now it's
Okay.
just like, yo, I'm trying to be Edgar Allan Poe with this shit. I may not. I look at it like I may not be like the other characters that's out there, but I definitely tell you if you pay attention to the scheme and what's being said, you might not get it now, but you'll definitely get it because the shit all makes sense. It's just on how you hear it and perceive it.
Yeah. And so was it when you kind of sort of realize, I can make a kind of proper go at this, was it kind of a solitary pursuit, or was it more someone else pushing you like, yo, man, you nice, you should pursue that? Was it something that you knew you could do, or was someone kind of like pushing you like, you're dope, go for it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, nah, I would actually say the majority of it came from the homies, because I was good with what I did, but I never really took it serious. In my early ages, my mother would look at me like, "You rapping, that's a waste of airtime. What the fuck you doing that for?" So, when you get around your peers, you get around your friends, And they like, nah, son, go ahead, go flip your shit, go do what you gotta do. Then things change. Then when you got that one homie that brings you to the studio, then that energy changes you to like, yo, now I need to get up and try to do this too, because now you getting experienced and exposed to a whole different world, you know. So I definitely got to give more credit to the homies on that rather than just be like, yeah, I was just out here pursuing it on my own, you know. The pen was always there, but to actually get the inspiration to go in the booth, it was really the homies. We chip our money together, go in, record records, and then from there, whatever we made from it, we made from it. A lot of times it was just demos just sitting around the house rapping on everybody else's beat.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact that, yo, sharpening skills, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, I get that. And when you just before you kind of got serious on it, which kind of artists were you listening to at that time where you thought, yo man, I can match this? Do you know what I mean? Who was you know what I
Yo,
mean? Kind of like, because obviously you can't just go in the game like I'm worse than everyone else. You got to kind of have a level of confidence, like, yo, I can kind of
word.
like
I
forge
could do
my
this
own
and flip
path.
this.
Who were you listening to that was kind of like, yeah, man, they're nice?
Shit, my early that's like early influence. I'll say early M work definitely.
Mm,
Now me, I'm from Staten Island, so you know that's home team anyway. Wu Tang with that
yeah.
shit. I've always been a fan of like Onyx, Mobb
Mhm.
Deep, Nas, especially Nas. Nas has top tier pen. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? His shit is from front to back immaculate.
Yeah.
And then as the years go on, you get introduced to other shit. Like I remember I was like 21 and people put me on the Doom, and then like after that I was sold. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You couldn't tell me shit. Like the dude was a genius. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, that early influence, like that, like I said, the M's and all that, that's what really kind of made the pen creative. But like I said, I was just writing like silly shit. So
Mhm.
to me, I'm like, I'm trying to keep up with that. You know, I chop your face with 380 plates and all that other kind of
Yeah.
nonsense type shit.
No,
You know,
I get what you mean. Yeah.
I also was a big fan of the Dipset too, man. I like their
Mm.
early shit. Cam's pen is elite too. People front on Cameron. Cameron
Mm.
got bars. They
Yeah. Yeah.
think that poopity scoopy shit is just all him. Nah, that nigga can spit.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean because I used to be like, mostly, the artists that you said, that East Coast grimy, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, and that was my lane. And then, like you say, you start to branch off, so you go into the West Coast thing, and
Right.
then I started finding artists like Declaim and artists like Aesop Rock, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just show you that you can do anything in rap. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't just have to be hard street rhymes. You can rap about partying. You can rap about
Word. It
the
just
sun in the
style some
sky.
wild
You can
shit.
rap
Hell
about
yeah.
the water. You can rap about anything. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously you get into the kind of production side and some of the stuff that they're using to make hip hop beats, and they're using, you know, German prog rock records, and kind of like, you know what I mean, Latin
Hindu pop
salsa
records and
records
shit.
and bossa nova, and anything. Do you know what I mean? Hip hop is anything and everything,
Yo.
and that's what I love about it. Do you know what I mean? You can do anything you want. You can take 4 bars of anything and make it dope. So, yeah,
Hell yeah.
right. Let's get back to the present, man. I know the album just dropped and you're repping that at the minute, but what's next for Squeegee Oblong?
Um, I'm working with Jamel Honesty on the next Harbor Kids project. You know, we put the first one out, I think, in 2022. So it's been a minute, but it's about that time we come back and make the return on that. And I got stuff in the cut. I'm
Yeah,
not in no rush to really put out. I think in order to chisel great art, you actually got to sit down and really put your draft into it and then put the shit out. So I'm gonna let this marinate for a little bit, but I got like EP work I could just throw out just to throw out. Nothing etched in stone. The only thing that's etched in stone right now definitely is the Harvard Creek project.
yeah.
So that's definitely coming soon.
All right, man. Well, like I said, man, I'm loving upset antagonists, and like I said, I'm loving digging into. I love finding a new artist, man, and digging into their back catalog, man, and to find out that their back catalog is dopeness as well, man. Like
No
I've
respect.
I've
I
said to
appreciate
artists before,
it.
like I don't just interview anyone, man. You know what I mean? If I didn't think you were dope, we wouldn't be talking. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, real shit, real shit.
Not
I
like
feel you.
I'm above that. Do you know what I mean? Just I only play what I like. Do you know what I mean? So
Listen,
I heard your
everybody's
stuff. I
entitled to
wanted to
their
talk to you.
preference and their
So
vibe. I'm
yeah,
glad that
yeah,
I'm a part of the preference.
yeah. So it's all love, man. Thank you for your time. Just let people quickly know your socials, man, where they can find you, where they can find your music, all that kind of stuff.
um, if you're looking for me, my main places that I dwell is IG. That's Squeegie, SQUEEGIE _ OBLONG. If you're looking for me on X, formerly known as Twitter, I'm Squeegie _ O. Everything else I'm a ninja on. And you can get my shit on all the streaming platforms. They got the music on YouTube if you want to go that route. If you want to help a nigga I'm about to fuck up my own phrase. If you want to donate to the Help a Nigga Out Foundation, it's obitch where you can purchase the music and get whatever you want from there.
Mhm.
And yo, just keep bumping that shit.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Thank you for your time. It is a pleasure to speak to you, man. And
Yo, likewise, brother.
yeah,
Likewise,
yeah,
family.
man. Next time you're dropping something, get in touch. We'll speak again. We'll just speak again anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's a pleasure
No,
to
real
talk to
shit.
you, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
likewise,
squeegee
brother.
oblong,
I do
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's appreciated, man. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Good one, good brother.
All right, man. I'll see you soon.
What's up, people? This is JJ, your hip hop aficionado, your hip hop connoisseur. I'm here to tell you about my show, The History of Hip Hop with JJ. It's on a Friday, 10 p.m. till 12 a.m. So whether you're into that hard body stink face style, or whether you like it more smooth and laid back, I will be bringing you the best of hip hop from the last 50 years. So join me Fridays 10 p.m. till 12 a.m. on Black Culture Radio. Peace out.